Hi, I'm Chris Maddock of Earth.
And I'm Lord Jimsicle, and you're watching You Have Issues, a programme all about comics.
And this edition, we'll be looking at some news from Comic Con, San Diego style.
Now, there was
we weren't there, but
no,
we're
not that
wealthy,
no.
And we were there in spirit, and we've been keeping very abreast of all the news and all the exciting gossip, and we're just going to run over a few of our what we've heard so far, our favourite bits that make us most excited.
Yeah, there were definitely quite a few really good. There were definitely quite a few really major announcements, both movies and comics and comic movies and what have you and everything. So, Chris, tell us what you were most excited about from this year.
Well, a couple of trailers that really took my fancy. First of all, they released the Simpsons Family Guy special trailer, which we're going to put a link up of, and so check that if you haven't seen it yet. But it's the first time I've been interested in something Simpsons related since like the movie back in
2006, 7.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. So I haven't really kept abreast of the new stuff. So, but Family Guy, always good to see Family Guy. So it's going to be a real moment, a real landmark moment to see those two, collaborate, which you really get from seeing the trailer. Have you seen it yet, James?
I can't say I have. No,
well,
I mean,
make sure you get on it.
I'll definitely get on there. Yeah, because I mean, the whole thing with like Simpsons and Family Guy, like, the one thing they both have in common is like I watched them and loved them for a little while, then I just kind of lost interest.
See, so this is a landmark occasion for you. I mean, if you're a fan of one show or both shows, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it might be good. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. Did they mention a release date, or was it just like a sort of
I'm
a trailer?
not sure, but it's obviously getting closer. Just like what else is getting closer? The new Mad Max film, which their trailer was released, Fury Road, which, come on, let's face it, has been like almost 30 years. Well, by the time it comes out, it will be 30 years since the last one. That's if it comes out next year, which I think it is. 30 years, and this time no Mel. Mel's not involved. But have you seen the trailer for the new that?
I can't say I have.
Well, it looks very amazing. Yeah? It's got explosions, chases, and like Tom Hardy's like even sounds like Mel Gibson from the old film. So he's got a proper Aussie accent. Ooh. And wow, yeah, I saw it and I was just like. Repost. Okay. Wow, this is amazing.
For the benefit of those people watching this, I first saw Mad Max 2. No other Mad Max film.
You saw Mad Max. You saw Mad Max. And Mad Max 2.
I caught the last 10 minutes.
Did you?
Do you remember I showed up late?
You didn't see the whole thing?
No.
Okay, anyway.
Actually, yeah. sorry. Before we get onto a noodle incident, basically, friends of ours invited us over to watch the whole trilogy. I showed up 10 minutes before the end of the first one. I watched all of the second one. I loved it. I left 10 minutes into the third one. Basically, the point of this is, I've only seen the second one, and that was only
the best. Which is the
6
best.
months ago.
You should watch. We'll watch the first and third one sometime in the lead up. But yes, very excited about that. There another link, so check that out because it looks fantastic. All right, some sort of comic news as well.
So what has been on the old topic of the old comics?
I'm going to run through it by company. Okay. DC, Multiversity.
That's the Grant Morrison thing, isn't it?
Where it's going to be different kind of Earth. It's going to be,
Is this kind of like a sort of Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis-esque kind of thing? Not quite on a bigger scale, I don't know.
Yeah, because I think each one will have individual stories. I think they'll do one from certain Earths, for so long, and then for a whole story run, then maybe another one. Like I know they're doing Pax Americana, which is going to be Earth for the Charlton heroes, which were used as analogs for the Watchmen characters. So I expect something. I think it's the whole reason he's doing this. He's like he wants to do a kind of Watchmen type epic storyline, but with the original characters this time, rather than with the analogs.
That's quite fun. That's interesting because
and Grant Morrison's a great writer, so it's going to be good.
He is. Yeah, Grant Morrison is fantastic.
And we get to see Blue Beetle Ted Cord back again, which is great. And all the The Question, all of those ones. So who've disappeared basically since the New 52, which I'm glad to see return.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's quite interesting you mentioned about Grant Morrison, especially doing this whole like kind of Watchmen analog thing, simply because you know, like there's been a whole thing of like Grant Morrison and like Alan Moore. You know, they're often very critical of each other. I know Grant Morrison is very critical of Alan Moore, especially with this whole thing of like, oh, he takes comics too seriously and blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. But I think it's funny as someone who many consider to be Alan Moore's biggest critic, he's doing what Alan Moore wanted to do originally.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a weird irony.
Who killed the Peacemaker? Which Peacemaker was what
the comedian. Wasn't
the comedian, yeah. He's like someone who I loved it always. It was like he loves peace so. His tagline always was like he loves peace so much he will kill for it or something along those lines. And it's just like totally. I'll kill for peace. It's like what's it? It's like having sex for virginity.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Fighting for peace.
He said sex.
Anyway, moving on. I've got a couple of IDW titles which I'm excited about. First off, Star Trek Planet of the Apes crossover.
Oh,
wow,
nice.
both late 60s, sci-fi. One's a movie, one was a TV show, one was a movie. Wow, that's gonna. I hope it's the original Star Trek crew.
It would, it's definitely original.
I love if they go with that whole 60s kind of feel and just like that's going to be something interesting. I'll definitely pick that up.
Nice.
And another one is called Shadow Show, which is going to be a sci-fi anthology based on short stories and stories by Ray Bradbury. Do you know who Ray Bradbury is?
I can't say I do. No.
He did a story called The Sound of Thunder, which was about going back in time and someone stepping on the butterfly, and then in years come, then they go back, and then stepping on the butterfly, and then years go in the future, and everything's changed. So it's the butterfly effect. But really kind of epic sci-fi short story. So that's really good.
Awesome.
Women of Dynamite, which is going to be written by James's personal favourite, Gail Simone. So it's going to be like Deja Forrest, who is John Carter's significant other, Red Sonja,
and Vampirella,
Redhead Warrior, and Vampirella. I don't know much about. I know the other ones really well. I love the other ones. I'm willing to give it a try. I'm always willing to get into new characters. So that's great.
Yeah, that's very true.
That'd be really good.
I agree. No, because I remember, Gail Simone. This is a good thing anyway, because Gail Simone has had a long run on Red Sonja for at least the last year or so. Since she
I should be right.
Kind of like took a side swipe off DC. It was just like I'm just kind of moving on to other things. And
brilliant.
I think it's fantastic.
Dynamite's great. So she goes there. Even more epic comics. Brilliant.
It's true. I think at some point we should do a little creative spotlight episode on Gail Simone. She's done some amazing stuff. We should definitely do that.
Definitely, James. And then you could tweet her the video.
That's true. And
get another shout out from your Okay. Don't know where to take that any further. So
Okay, sorry.
Okay, and Boom. You know who Boom is? I haven't really heard much of. I know there's a couple, I think they did an Elric one recently by Michael Moorcock, but they're doing a Snake Plissken series, which is going to continue after Escape from New York. So it's going to be about him and kind of like the state of America in that universe. I picked up a couple of miniseries a few years back. I never got around to reading it, so I'd really like to see some kind of expanded universe Snake Plissken adventures. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely what's amazing about the comic medium. Things like this,
totally
show up again.
Because if you enjoy a character in a movie or in a cartoon or a TV series, and then you can get it spun off into comics, so it's like when they do tie-in novels.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Tie-in comics and you can follow more adventures from that character that you really enjoyed, and
oh, absolutely, hell yeah. What else you got, man?
And one more, Marvel are going to be doing some new Star Wars. I mean, Dark Horse have been doing it for the last 20 odd years, and they've done such amazing stuff. Wow, we'll watch our other video.
Yeah.
Watch our Star Wars video.
You'll like it, yeah.
Which we'll put a link there for as well. And basically, I'd like to see what they do. And last time Marvel did Star Wars was in the 80s, end of the 70s, 80s, and it was a bit silly, and there wasn't really much of continuity. It was a bit... I enjoyed it, but it's a bit wacky.
They felt like exactly what they kind of were, just tie-ins.
Yeah, they were literally just tie-ins with no
canonical.
Once you get from 1901 onwards, and you got like the expanded universe in novel forms, then the comics tied in with that, and there was so much more actually to go in and kind of like backstories and side characters that you could actually use, which are part of that universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they didn't really have that in the 80s, and it was a bit all over the place. But it was fun. It was fun.
But I mean, I've got a feeling, because obviously writing attitudes have changed, and also Dark Horse in particular, they really kind of paved the way with doing comics and expanded universe material. It's even canonical to the books. Basically, I've got a feeling they are going to, pardon this pun, draw on that.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah. This is going to be all
yeah.
part of the new Disney, the new film universe.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a brand new slate.
If I recall correctly, this new series is actually going to be set between episodes 4 and 5. If I recall correctly.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah,
yes, because I have
yeah.
seen the picture, and they are very much in their kind of a New Hope.
Leia has the Danish, the Danish blonde hair,
the buns, and I mean, it's weird though, because there's already all these other things all this other stuff that I knew took place during that time, and now it's completely didn't happen. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's like someone's rewritten history, and I've got to learn it all over again. And James, you've been excited by some Marvel movie news as well, haven't you been?
Oh God, yes. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy has already been greenlit a sequel. Now,
it's not even come out here.
I know.
It's out this week.
It's out this weekend.
It's not even come out yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Already a sequel.
I know.
Wow.
So, apparently on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got like 100%. 100%. Christ Almighty, it's going to be good.
If only Dread or other could have had that kind of positive feedback. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I love space opera stuff.
No, absolutely.
I'm really into that.
I mean, what little reviews I've read, basically they're hyping it up as basically this is the new Star Wars, basically.
Which they did with John Carter, but no one got it.
That's true. I love John Carter. Great movie.
But anyway, we won't get into that now because it's a whole other subject. But yeah, I love kind of adventurous movies set in the future, set in the sci-fi background. I love it in fantasy as well. Don't get me wrong.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like humor. It has to have humor, kind of like a bit of love in there, like a bit of romance, a bit of just camaraderie with the characters. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to hit the nail on the head.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Any other Marvel news?
Well, the whole thing is they've already... actually, no, this isn't even San Diego Comic-Con news. I mean, they've already said that Captain America 3 is going to be on the same day as Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice, that kind of thing, which is interesting. But, really, from what I gather, they actually kept a lot of things quiet. Now, there were conventions earlier this year, they're like, oh, Marvel didn't mention this. DC didn't mention this. They're waiting until San Diego.
I think
San Diego came along, and this is like all they did was like.
Well, didn't they kind of push all that out last year? With all the other, they pushed out so much movie news last year. I remember hearing about all the stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy this time last year, and it being a big deal. And what else? Did they do a Man of Steel one?
No, the Man of Steel sequel. Batman. Superman.
Yeah, that was a big deal. So they're only kind of hinting towards more and stuff.
They're just kind of treading over ground they've already laid out last year. I think. If you look at it this way, it's precisely true. Last year we just had a film poster of the Superman logo and the Batman logo. Now we get a teaser trailer.
Pictures of the costumes, pictures of Batman and Wonder Woman. Anyway,
we'll put a link to this one, and
this is already covered ground. So look at the other video first for that.
In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, guys.
Yes, and we've been Chris Manic of Earth and
Lord Jimsicle, and you have been watching You Have Issues,
a program all about comics.